Hello and welcome to the channel. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana has said that the Department of State Services (DSS) do not have the constitutional right to investigate or even try the embattled, suspended Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) Governor Godwin Emefiele. That right belongs to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Details in a bit. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. EFCC, not DSS, should investigate, try Emefiele, says Falana. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana San has said the Department of State Services lacks constitutional power to investigate and prosecute the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Falana, in a message sent to our correspondent on Sunday, said Emefiele should be transferred to the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which, according to him, has the legal right to prosecute Emefiele. A few months ago, the State Security Service leveled grave allegations of rhythm financing, money laundering, and other economic crimes against Godwin Emefiele, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. At the material time, the attempt by the SSS to arrest, investigate, and prosecute Mr. Emefiele was frustrated by the erstwhile Buhari administration. However, following the suspension of Mr. Emefiele as the governor of the CBN by President Bola Tinubu, the SSS quizzed him in Lagos and flew him to Abuja on Saturday. According to media reports, the investigation of the suspect by the SSS has commenced. Even though the SSS initially denied the arrest, it has since turned around to admit that Mr. Emefiele is in its custody. In the case of Dr. Bukola Saraki v. Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2018, 16 NWLR, PT 1646 433 434, the Supreme Court ruled that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission lacks the device to investigate and prosecute the appellant for the breach of the provisions of the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act. It was for that principled reason that Senator Saraki was freed by the Apex Court. In line with the principle of law enunciated by the Apex Court in Saraki's case, the SSS lacks the power to investigate and prosecute Mr. Emefiele in respect of allegations of money laundering and other economic crimes. Therefore, after investigating the alleged involvement of Emefiele in rhythm financing, the SSS should transfer him to the EFCC for the purpose of investigating the allegations of money laundering and allied offenses. Otherwise, the investigation of the case will be bungled by the SSS, Falana said. Meanwhile, the Department of State Services has confiscated the passport of the suspended Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele. The service, it was also learned, may search Emefiele's home and office this week. Following his suspension on Friday as a result of the ongoing investigation of his office and the planned reforms in the financial sector, the service arrested Emefiele in Lagos and flew him to Abuja in a private jet on Saturday. The spokesperson for the service, Peter Afunanya, in a statement said Emefiele had been taken into custody and was under investigation. However, a source in the DSS on Sunday said it was standard procedure for his travel documents to be seized pending the conclusion of the ongoing investigation. The source added that the office and residence of the suspended Apex Bank governor will be searched. The source said, of course, Emefiele's travel document will be confiscated as part of the standard process pending the conclusion of our investigation. Also, as part of the investigation, his house and office will be searched for documents that can aid the ongoing investigation on his management of the CBN. Our correspondent had reported that other top directors of the CBN might also be invited or arrested for questioning over their roles in the administration of the Apex Bank. It was learned that the DSS might revisit the criminal charges it earlier filed against Emefiele, which borders on reason financing and fraud. The secret police similarly accused the suspended CBN boss of mismanaging the CBN subsidiary, Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, and the Anchor Borrowers Program. The DSS spokesman, Falana, could not be reached for comment on Sunday, as calls to his line indicated that he was unreachable. He had yet to respond to a text message on the detention of Emefiele as of the time of filing this report. Meanwhile, the erstwhile senior special assistant to former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Laolu Akande, has called for a thorough probe of the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele. Akande said this on Saturday night, adding that the embattled CBN boss had failed to redeem himself despite being given a long rope and fair consideration. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Reacting to the development in a tweet on Saturday, Akande noted that it was high time the CBN governor faced an investigation. He said, "It was about time the CBN governor faced suspension and an accompanying investigation. All people of goodwill and those who value integrity, irrespective of political leanings, will be thankful for this development. Emefiele was given a long rope and fair consideration, but he failed to redeem himself." Noting that his request wasn't due to the issue of naira scarcity, the former spokesman added that Emefiele's actions at the CBN were to the detriment of Nigerians. This is not even about cashless policy, but apparent corruption in the dual foreign exchange policy and the arbitrage. What a sigh of relief, he stated. Also, the Department of State Services is likely to approach the court on Tuesday to obtain an order to keep the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, in its custody for as long as his interrogation will last. A source in the DSS confided in one of our correspondents that the secret police would likely approach the court to obtain an order to detain the suspended CBN boss for an indefinite period to allow for unfettered interrogation. The source stated, "He is going to be with us for some time. We may obtain a court order to further detain him. The previous charges against him are there, and further investigations may add to that. You know that he is a big man, and we have to make sure that the loose ends are tightened before we take him to court." That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.